guys, it's Jen from Phoenix and Lotus, and this is day 15 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. And today's prompt is, why do you usually use the tarot? Is it for meditation? Is it for communication with spirit? Is it for guidance, advice, just for fun? What's the core focus of your tarot practice? And I use the tarot primarily for two reasons. I use it for meditation and reflection, and I also use it for communicating with spirit guides. So we'll start with the meditation self-reflection piece. Every morning I draw a card and I ask myself, what energy should I tune into or tap into or be aware of today? And I try to look at that card and think about whether it's my own energy that I'm being asked to be aware of, or if it's some sort of force around me. And at the end of the day, or the next morning, I'll think back on how did that energy come to play in my day? Was it present? Was it not present? If it was present, was it me? Was it somebody else? How did my anticipations of how that card was going to show up line up with what actually happened? So that's sort of a tool that I use. I like to think of it as conscious entry into my day, thinking about, what do I know this day has in store for me? What are some of the unexpected variables that might come up, and how can I best respond to those in a way that aligns with the person that I want to be and how I want to come across, even if it's something completely shitty and awful that comes up in my day. How can I best deal with that and accept that? And so tarot is definitely something that helps me do that and think about all the forces outside our control that we encounter and interact with. Okay, so now I want to talk a little bit about how I use tarot to connect with spirit guides. About a year ago, I broke my ankle. And I know that sounds like it has nothing to do with this, but trust me, I'll get there. So I have always been fascinated by family history, and I've done a lot of genealogy research and explored my family tree. I'm fortunate in that I'm able to go back pretty far on both sides of my family, both my mother's and father's sides of the family. But there were two women who really stood out to me while I was doing a lot of this research, and I didn't have a good reason for being attracted to them. Their stories are very sparse. I basically know where and when they were born, where and when they died, who they were married to. That's about it, or at least that was it when I started. And one of them was on my mother's side. Her name is Afia Mather, and she was born in 1730. And the other one was on my father's side, and her name is Caroline Seifert, and she was born in Prussia in about 1810 and emigrated to the United States, to Michigan. Afia Mather lived in Connecticut. So very different times, very different women. They never knew each other. No reason to think that they had anything in common. But I had this very strong sense that both of them were intuitive or psychic in some way. And when I broke my ankle, I started getting messages or guidance from them. And that was really interesting and a little intense, but it was a great experience. And so I didn't really know exactly how to further that relationship, but it helped to use tarot cards to specifically ask questions and invite Afia or Caroline to communicate with me through the deck. I also use automatic writing for that and a little bit of pendulum work, but tarot is definitely a way that I'm able to connect with them and communicate with them. And it's really exciting and interesting to think that I can talk to these women who've been gone for over 100 years, almost 200 years in one case, and that we have this sort of thing in common through the rich symbolism and history and visual language and intuitive language of the tarot. That's pretty powerful. So that is how and why I use the tarot.